Welcome to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. The show starts off with Ninja Blevins here playing some World of Warcraft, and he narrates that he's bitter of couples playing this game.
The fuck you say to me?
And this motivates him to demolish them and become the game's greatest player, and they call him Diablo. The clock strikes 12 and he was summoned into the game by these two women, an elf and a furry. The pair argues about who summoned him and who should be his master. We then see this flashback of Ninja being a loner since he was a kid and he doesn't know how to reason women. The pair keeps arguing and they were suddenly forced to shake hands, and this slave collars appears on their necks. The pair explains that they were using an enslavement spell, but it only reverses because Ninja has equipped an OP ring that can reverse any type of magic spells. The pair introduce themselves and the elf's name is Shera and the furry's name is Rem. No, not this Rem. The gang heads to the city where they stay on this shitty Airbnb. As they head into their room, this hot maid shows up and her name is Celestine. They go to a pub and she asks the pair about the summoning that they did and why are they being enslaved by Ninja here. He then replied that he can't undo the spell because he's not the one who casted it. Then Hot Mage tells the furry that she needs to be observed closely because she's an important figure into this world, because she's an anchor point just like Wolverine in the Deadpool movie.
I don't fucking care.
They go back to their room and he tortures her by licking her ears, and she spills the beans and says that there's a demon that resides in her and its name is Karen or Cracker Barrel or something. With his gamer instincts, he deduced that her demon disease is hereditary, and it's unfortunate for her because her mother's genes passed it on to her. But he tells her to fear not because he will save her from this disease, maybe through exorcism.
The power of Christ compels you!
He then goes to the center of the city to assess everything in his mind. Then this cocky-ass mage challenges him to a fight and summons a huge-ass gecko for insurance.
Geico.
But Diablo easily obliterates it by borrowing Megumin's explosion skill. And he tells him to never mess with Ninja Blevin's Fortnite gun.
You shut up when I'm talking to you! You shut your mouth!
The next day comes where they go to the guild house to register themselves as adventurers by filling out some papers and touching this mirror to see the fairest of them all.
I'm retarded?
And we see the elf stats and she's level 30, but the mirror can't handle Diablo's Sigma power. Then this furry guild manager suggested that he should go somewhere more advanced to analyze his stats because their mirror is the mirror from Shrek. But he joins their guild anyway because he just wants the money.
Only in it for the money!
She gives them a quest to kill this wild snake in the woods just like Bear Grylls. They reach their destination and the elf noticed that there are people hiding behind the trees. Then Diablo concludes that they're in a trap and he uses his unlimited fireballs onto the trees. And this warrior elf starts falling. Then we see Legolas and he tells Diablo to give up on the bitch elf because she's a princess and they need to take her back onto their kingdom so that her brother can impregnate her.
What? What the fuck?
What the fuck? Shit just came straight out of nowhere. What he said caught me off guard. I almost got choked out of my coffee. The elf then tells Legolas that she won't obey her brother's wish because she just wants to be free. They start firing arrows onto him but he easily deflects them even with his power shot skill. He then uses Aokiji's Ice Age move and freezes everything, and the douchebag mage shows up and he gives him a warning and he'll kill him if he ever saw his face again, and he runs away.
Bye, bitch!
Then an ecchi fan service happens as per and we skip that. Then we get a glimpse of this warrior girl praying to get wet. We cut to the next day where the hot mage personally gave the rabbit lolly a quest by getting some important items and delivering it to the soldiers near the boundary. And Diablo accepts this quest but the furry doesn't want to join them because she doesn't want to be attached to the hot mage. As they head out, this white knight shows up to fight him because he's an ally of women and wants to save them. But he easily gets his ass clapped. The pair goes to the borders to deliver the bread and wine. Look at that, Jesus would be so proud. The knights mistook him for a fallen. Then this knight explains that they're currently helping villagers from the nearby village to pass this bridge because of the fallen attack.
The fallen shall rise again!
Because Diablo doesn't want to see people die, he decides to help the knights on fighting the fallen. The fallen arrives and it's the warrior girl from earlier, and she brings 100 beast monsters along with her, and Ninja starts fighting them one by one. We cut back to the furry where the hot mage tells her that Diablo might be the demon that wants to kill her, but the furry defends him by saying that he has a million opportunities to rape her, but he didn't do it because he's a good guy.
Are you sure about that?
Then douchebag mage shows up and tells the hot mage that he wants a closure on why he was being fired in the association, and he lets out this demon dagger and starts cutting himself, and he turns into an emo. We cut back to the bridge where the Lady Valkyrie faces Diablo and starts fighting him. On the other hand, the furry was chased by the rapist emo and he was able to corner the pair.
Right!
What the fuck? Isn't the hot mage the strongest mage in the city? Why the fuck is she running away with the furry? Go cast some fireballs or ice dildos. Just don't be useless for fuck's sake. Anyway, the white knight appears and starts protecting the pair along with the hot mage's simps.
I will spare no thought.
But they were easily fucked by the emo using his emo depression skills.
When I was
We cut back to the bridge where the fighting continues, and Diablo lets the Lady Valkyrie use her ultimate skill to show how weak she is. Now that's a fucking Chad move right there. Andrew Tate would be so proud of you. He gives them a chance to retreat, but a messenger from the kingdom tells that the hot mage and the furry are about to get raped. Then Diablo uses his supernova skill to blast right through the emos and teleports back to the city. He arrives just in time as the White Knight was about to get busted in the ass. He then triggers the emo and lets him use all of his skills, but it's ineffective because of his anti-mage spell refraction ring, and he uses his mini black hole to send him to another dimension, interstellar style. We cut to the next day where a funeral was held for the dead people during the emo attack. Well, the casualties could have been lower if that big TD mage knows how to cast a single fucking spell. We then cut back to the inn where the lolly rabbit tells the gang that they need to surrender the elf, or else the elf kingdom will declare war on them, and she tells them to make a deal to stop this war from happening.
If they want war, we'll give them war.
They talk to General King Bradley here from FMA Brotherhood, and he tells the gang that no matter what they need to prevent this war from happening, and he introduced a new bitch to accompany the gang on their quest, and her name is Alicia Keys Cristela. The gang goes item and potion shopping before they head into the elf kingdom. Then some bounty hunters throw a smoke bomb and kidnaps the elf. Diablo then chases after them and the White Knight appears to stop the hunters.
I f***ing hate video games.
Then the gang thanks the White Knight for helping them, and he leaves along with the kidnappers. Alicia Keys apologizes to Diablo for being as useless as Sakura, and with his kind heart he says, "Forgive yourself. People make mistakes, but be sure not to end up as useless as Sakura." We cut back to the inn where the hot mage tells the gang that she knows someone who knows how to remove their slave collars, and she'll refer them to her. They head into the slave market where this hot MILF shows up.
Jesus, this mail's actually getting me horny. Look at that.
She then received the letter coming from the hot mage, and she will teach Diablo how to do it. We cut outside where Alicia Keys talks to the furry, and she proceeds to draw a dick on her hand to calm her down. And she accidentally activates a demon pact onto her hand, but the furry didn't notice because her eyes was closed. We cut back inside where Diablo uses his magic to find the source of the enslavement spell, and of course this is another fan service, and we skip to the end where he gives up because he can't find the main source. The gang heads back to the inn to rest for the day. As Alicia Keys tries to head into her room, they hear a flute playing into their doorsteps, and it's Link, aka the Ho Elf's brother, and he says, "Oh, how I miss you so much, my dear little sister. I was so busy being the ruler of our kingdom, but don't worry now because I will devote my love and time to you. From now on, you will become my Princess Zelda. Now, let's go back to Alabama." Why the fuck would I give her to you? Who in their right mind would place a bounty on his sister's head? Well, sucks for you because she's my bitch from now on. Then the furry says that she will support the elf's decision. Either she wants to go or stay. Then Link says that he will wait for her sister's decision respectfully, and he will not start a war even if her sister doesn't come back. Then Link backs up for the night and leaves the gang alone.
Bye! Have a beautiful time!
Midnight comes and both of the bitches can't sleep, and they have some dramatic talk about their futures, where the elf wants to open a cafe shop along with them, and the furry replied that she will join her cafe if she can survive her demon illness. Then we see Link playing the flute in the middle of the forest and was nothing. Disgusting! The next morning comes where the two bitches heads to General King Bradley to report the situation of the elf, while Diablo and the elf are left behind making some potions. Then Link plays the Majora's Mask flute theme, and he hacks the bitches' mind to return back to Alabama. Diablo gets depression and starts acting like his big titty goth GF just broke up with him, which is almost accurate. Then the furry motivates him through the power of friendship, and the gang searches for the BT elf, or the big titty elf. Yo, that's actually kinda sick of a gamer name compared to Simp.
Mr. MVP! Simp!
Anyway, Link interrogates the BT elf and uses some baby lotion to melt her clothes so that he can easily plant his seeds into her.
Did he do it?
Or basically, he's just going to rape her. Mind you, he's doing this to his sister, by the way.
Wow, that's illegal.
Then BT elf calls for help on Diablo, and he arrives just in time right before Link can whip out his dick. Diablo frees her from her chains, and he uses his enslavement spell on commanding the BT elf on telling her true feelings, and she says that she wants to stay with the gang. Then Link summons a huge four-headed hydra to fight Diablo. He then fights the monster, but he struggled because of its regeneration skill. But the BT elf tells him that he needs to destroy the crystal moving inside its body. He then goes underneath the monster by power sliding and uses the Emperor's electric power. He He was about to kill Link, but the BT elf stopped him because they're still siblings. Link runs away and he was beheaded by General King Bradley, and he was there the whole time along with the BTS army watching the fight. He then locks Diablo onto his barrier and explains that Link deserves to die because bringing his troops into the kingdom is a form of declaration of war, and he thanks Diablo for doing most of the damage, and he orders the BTS army to capture the BT elf and kill anyone who fights back. Diablo proceeds to break the barrier by using some magic inner piece. He then fights low-budget King Bradley, but he barely won the fight due to his gamer instincts. Then low-budget King Bradley withdraw his troops to stop the war. Diablo then gets bedridden because of low MP, and we skip this another fan service as per. We cut to this scene where this random ass character kills some cult people. Then we jump to Alicia Keys where she reported the elf incident to the king, and we see this murderer knight from earlier, and his name is Knight Sadler, and he talks to her about a prophecy that a demon may appear in the west side of the capital. We cut back to the gang where they do some summoning magic and fan service shit as the two bitches take a bath. The lolly Valkyrie shows up and tells the gang that she knows how to abort a demon inside the furry's body without sacrificing her, and she will teach them how to do it free of charge.
Nice.
And if they do it, she will leave them alone. Diablo accepts the lolly's deal, and they will meet up 3 days from now on in the tower where he was summoned.
Damn good deal.
The gang goes back to the city where Alicia Keys shows up, and she informs the gang about Adam Sandler on how troublesome of a knight he is because he kills people who are cult members, especially those who worship Charles Manson, and they need to keep a low profile for now until Adam Sandler leaves the city. Then Adam Sandler shows up and Diablo directly introduced himself as the Demon Lord. Adam Sandler threatens Alicia Keys on killing her for hiding on being a cult member.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
He then chokes the furry using his telepathic magic, but Diablo noticed his dirty little trick. Then they have an argument on who has the bigger dick.
Why are you looking so scared? Why you look so shook, my man?
Then Adam Sandler gets triggered and uses a boa Hancock petrification skill. But because of Diablo's Lincoln Sphere plus Lotus Orbery, he reversed the effect onto Adam Sandler. The knights retreat and Alicia Keys tells him that he should have finished him off, but he replied, "Nah, no need to worry. He has a small PP. I can easily slap him with my 12cm defeater." Then we cut back to the inn where the furry decides to share her demon pregnancy secret onto Alicia Keys, and she says that she will help her within her abilities. Then we see the lolly Valkyrie preparing the abortion ritual in this tower and recreate 9/11. The gang arrives at the tower and they finally start the abortion.
Oh, there you are, Doctor! I'm ready when you are!
Diablo uses his magic searcher ability, but the lolly Valkyrie said that it wasn't enough and his power can't reach the fetus demon, and he needs to finger her vagina in order for the abortion to be successful.
Just use finger.
The furry gives him a thumbs up and he does it. He poured his power and he was successful on summoning the Karen Demon Lord, and it's another lolly. Great. Now I'm in the FBI's watch list after watching this anime with incest and lollies in it.
FBI, open up!
Then the lolly demon fights Diablo as a reward for a successful abortion, but apparently this lolly has amnesia and can't remember why would she kill people.
Who am I? What am I?
Then BT Elf gives her a biscuit and manages to befriend the lolly demon. Then this Giga Chad furry arrives and welcomes back the Demon Lord, and he noticed that maybe the abortion is incomplete. He then pounds the Valkyrie into the ground because she failed to completely resurrect the demon.
It's a bit like your brain. Not only is it shrunk, but it's disappeared.
Then Diablo helps her and he fights the Giga Chad furry, and he manages to peg him with his ice pick. The Giga Chad furry goes a sneak attack on the lolly Demon Lord, but the furry saves her. Diablo was able to slow him down and the Giga Chad retreats.
Bye, bitch!
The gang then goes back to the inn along with the lolly Demon Lord, and to avoid suspicion, they name her Clem. And another fan service shit happens where they rub their titties against him to regain his MP. Seriously, I'm gonna get abducted by the FBI after watching this show. And we see a flashback on Alicia Keys where she grew to have the mindset for the greater good. And we also see Adam Sandler waking up after the petrification and is planning a revenge on Diablo using his remote. The next day comes where Diablo reports the situation of the Demon Lord to the Hot Mage, and she says that it's okay because a biscuit-loving lolly Demon Lord can't hurt anybody. The gang goes home and Alicia Keys kidnaps the lolly and the furry. Then she explains that she's a secret agent of the CCP.
Oh yes, hello, priest. We are Chinese people. Hello, priest.
And her goal is to completely resurrect the true Demon Lord Xi Jinping, so that they will take over the West and create a brand new world for the greater good. I just realized after saying that sentence, I'll probably have a negative 1 million social credit score, and I'm gonna be banned in China for life.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Moving on, Adam Sandler arrives and uses some telekinetic powers to kidnap the lolly and the furry. Then we see the pair being transported in this cage, and they arrive in this church, but it's just basically a cover-up for a sex dungeon.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Meanwhile, Diablo is searching for them all day long. He then goes to the guild house to ask for help, and this boy pins out the location of the pair and rushes to save them. We cut back to the sex dungeon where Adam Sandler cuts the furry's ear, but the lolly keeps yapping and he slashed her, and he finds out that she's a fallen.
What the hell is even that?
He tries to slash her again, but the furry protected her this time. She bleeds out like it's her period, and Adam Sandler delivers the final blow and kills her. She gets triggered and transforms into the Demon Lord, and she kills Adam Sandler. We then see Alicia Keys meeting up with the Lady Valkyrie in the Giga Chat because she's the one who planned all of this to happen. Meanwhile, the Hot Mage keeps the barrier going, and General King Bradley prepares his troops for the emo invasion. We cut back to Diablo and the BT Elf, where he fights the lolly and she saves the furry. He uses his ultimate spell and manages to weaken the lolly, but with the power of friendship, the furry and the BT Elf was able to bring her back.
Nice job, team.
Then the emo gang was baffled on losing the Demon Lord. They were about to kill the Lady Valkyrie, and she tells Alicia Keys to run back to the city for her safety. We cut back to the aftermath of the fight, where the lolly bunny tells Diablo that they need to kick out the lolly demon.
That off and fucking about a bit. Get out! Get out! Hey you! Leave the jacket and get out!
Because she might cause trouble again in the future, and if it weren't for him, the city would have been destroyed. Diablo wants to help the lolly, and he found a loophole by agreeing to become his slave so that she can be under his protection.
Nonce.
The furry and the BT Elf convince her because Diablo isn't a bad person, and she agrees. The rabbit lolly reports the situation back to General King Bradley. We cut back to the gang where they're about to rest, but Alicia Keys shows up and uses the BT Elf as a hostage. She then makes a deal to the Demon Lord to heal the lolly Valkyrie, and she does it. Alicia Keys goes emo mode and tells everyone that nobody likes her. As she was about to cut herself like every teenager, Diablo stops her and he says that she just needs to see the positive side of the world. And with that, depression is gone and we see ecchi fan service, and that's the end of the anime. This anime gets a 12,137 popes out of an exorcism.
The power of Christ compels you!